Hi, Julie Torrens here. Working on some bookmarks that I want to give to the library. And you guys said you wanted to take a look, so I'm going to get you caught up with me. So I started with packing paper, just like this. And it's, from mail order. Ironed it, and then I layered it up, and I used glue stick. And I layered it up so that I had three layers. So that gave me these. I cut them out and just, thinking about bookmarks and thinking about the size and the shape and that kind of thing. But no hard and fast rules on the size, just, how it fits. They're firm, but not as firm as I was hoping. So then I went and I got my painter's paper, which is this, and it's this. And this is the one that's got just a little bit of a texture to it. This is the paper that painters use when they want to cover the floor before they do a paint job. So I put them on here. Then I cut them out with scissors. So, it's just a fussy cutting job. But I glued the ones like this on here, and I used art glitter glue because this paper is super absorbent, and I just think it kind of absorbs the glue stick rather than gluing. But the art glitter glue seems to work great. Now, as I cut this out, I do want to tell you, when you're layering, like I layered these, you are going to have some gaps, no matter what. As fast as I tried to use the glue stick, I know some places it was even drying before I put one piece on top of the other. You know what I mean? Okay, so when I glued this on, you can see, maybe you can't, but this is more floppy than this. And I like this better. So that's what I did. I just glued these on, and then I cut them out. So what have we got? We have 3 layers of packing paper glued with glue stick. Then 1 layer I have of painter's paper. Now, use what you have. If you have cereal boxes, cracker boxes, things like that. This is what I have a plethora of. So that's why I'm using it. Now, once I get them to this part, I grab my trimmer. You can grab a ruler, but for me, this works good. And I just make sure now things are square. So, I can tell, when things are or aren't square. And so can you. But I just want, I want them to be square. The other thing is, sometimes at that very bitter edge is where you're going to have maybe some glue gaps. Now, how did I judge the size? I didn't make any of these longer than 6 inches. And I went with 2.5 wide. So they're, about the same size. But now I'm ready for decorating. How about you? Decorating our bookmarks. I'm keeping in mind that I'm going to have a hole at the top. I do want to round the corners. You can round them with a rounder, or you can simply just snip off the tips. But it's these corners that will be the first to go as these things are used. And to slide them in and out of a book, I think you're better off with those rounded corners. Now, this side has the painter's paper, and this side has the packing paper. And they both feel pretty smooth. So I'm going to go with this side for my decorating. Now I have some stencils, and I thought on some, might use some stencils. Just grab a few, and it doesn't have to be anything fancy. I got these literally years ago from Amazon. Yep. So let's just get some stars on here. I've got some red ink. And these are Christmas bookmarks that I'm going to give to the library. Now, I did go ahead and invest in the mini ink dauber system, but I've only got 2 handles, which I think is fine for me. And I'm just going to grab some ink. You need a little more ink the first time. And I want to go near the top. Yeah, if I didn't tell you what I was making these bookmarks for before, I apologize. Yeah, cute. Let's move it a little bit. I'm not having them all over, just here, there, here, there. The tiniest ones are kind of coming out like just dots. That's all right. It's fine. Okay. Good. Will we see them? I don't know. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. And I've got some Christmas scraps and some Christmas little labels. And then I've got some that I made trying to have it be sort of a book theme. So let's see what we can do with this. Bookmarks for the library. I'm going to go ahead and round the corners on this just because I think it looks cool. And I'm going to use the medium, which is the 7mm. Now let me know if you want me to post on Ko-fi, K-O-F-I, a free digital of these library Christmas things. I have no idea if you guys are interested or not. I've got this green, I made some master boards out of, this was some less than desirable paper, and so I put a piece of dictionary page, and then I just colored it up and splattered it up. And I made like a little stack of these. Okay, let's see about putting some of these on here. I just want a little background. I hope you're doing well. I thought of doing this project because I had on my mind, and I'm not going to get political, and I hope that you don't either, but in the United States, times are just tough. They just are, for whatever reason. And I just thought, well, I know that people are going to the library for a variety of reasons, and perhaps they would like just a little freebie, a little something they can grab on their way out the door. So I'm just making some bookmarks. I see free bookmarks at the library. Often they have advertising and things like that. Okay, I like that. Should have moved that up, but that's okay. Should I put that on there? I think so. Quit thinking about it. This is a little bit thicker because it was, it's like paper on paper. So I'm going to go ahead and use this. Plus, I did print these out on my better paper. I can't even tell you what it is. I just went to the office supply store and I bought the next grade up of paper than what I normally buy. So whatever that is. One grade above the cheapest, and I love it. And it was the office supply store brand. Okay, that looks nice. Good. Then maybe something up here. I've got these are tag shapes, but I wanted to use them on here. So let's see what else. These are too big. These are more tag shapes, but I could cut, let's cut him out. It's just a man dressed in winter clothes, carrying a lantern and some books. Fun, huh? And I plan to make, well, sometimes my brain is bigger than my ability, but I'd love to be able to take 50 of them to the local library. Will I? I don't know. I'm going to try. I'm going to try, that's for sure. All right, let's get him, and he's going to cover the coffee or the hot chocolate a little bit. That's okay. That's fine. Okay. And now, a little something here. One of these little guys. I've got this. It's a wreath. Love it. But I can see the white around there. So let's get, I've got some ink. I want to ink him up a bit. Okay. Yeah. I cut it as best I could, but it's a little bit white showing around the edges. So let's neaten it up a little bit. So are you starting plans for the holidays? Here in the US, we have Thanksgiving before Christmas, but I see a lot of people doing Christmas. And you know, since before the end of October, there's been Christmas things in the store. And I understand that. People can't buy everything all in one month. People want to make plans. What can I make? What can I buy? What do I need? What don't I need? You know, all that kind of thing. And I just have so much packing paper right now. It just really seemed to accumulate. And I think I showed you in another video. I've got 3 big rolls. I mean, they're partial rolls, but there's still a lot on them. Rolls of I'm grabbing a hole punch. I have rolls of this painter's paper, so I'm just happy to have a little something. And look, now that we put those things on it, it's really firm. Okay, looking for the middle. Good. And a little something, I've got this on my desk. And it's words, and it's from my sister, who's the quilt maker. So if I there you go. My brain has got bigger ideas than my body. See if I can rip it now. Oh, I can't. I wish I could. I see you guys just tear this fabric like it's made out of tissue, but no, I can't. It's okay. How long? A little bit longer. Okay. Now, I think what I'm going to do is just give it a one tie. I'll show you what I mean. I'm just going to put it through. And I'm going to tie it once. And it'll stay. See? I mean, you really would have to mess with it. Okay, we did one. I think it's great. Let's do another one. Okay? Okay. And I just love that I had this on my desk for the library. Are you joking? It's perfect. Okay. Skip. Well, I've got some already cut out. We don't need to remake the wheel. I know some of these I already squared off. I'm not convinced. All right. Let's get the old squarer out. And yeah, some of them turned out a little bit curled up. You know, just stick them under a book or get out your iron. When I don't have company, I leave that iron out because that's part of the battle, I think, when it, you know, when it would be nice to just iron a piece of paper and be done with it. But who wants to get out the iron and the board and the wall? I have it all out. I know. That's why your house looks like it does. I know. My whole living area is my craft room. Well, come on. My dining room table, yeah, sewing machine, lives there all the time. And I may sew around some of these. We'll see. Especially, oh boy. Let's move that over and give it another go. Especially if they feel like the layers are just not there. You know what I mean? The layers that feel loose. All right. Now see, that one is smaller. I'll see if I can measure it. From 8, so 1, 2, 3, 4 3/4 is all instead of 6. And 2 inches wide. It's fine. It'll make a nice bookmark. Yep. Feels firm. Feels smooth. All right, let's see about one of these. Let's put one of those on, and I'm going to go ahead and punch the hole that's already on there. And then I'm going to get a little piece of something. I'm looking on my desk because I got so much on my desk like that. See, this is way too big. I don't think I want to cut it. What about this? Look, stars, little Christmas stars. Okay, well, we know what a good cutter I am, said no one ever. Let's make this narrow because we'll have another one like this that we're going to be wanting to do. And I'm going to make it real thin. Okay. I'm going to put it in and I'm going to do all this before I glue it on. So it's going to be like a tag on a tag kind of thing. Fun, huh? Okay. Now, I think I can use this for more than one. I want this short. And let's just give it a trim. Save that. Now see? Good. All right. I like where we're heading with this. Let's round these corners up. I don't want to use that big one. I want to use the middle one. Bet you thought I forgot about rounding the corners. Oh, no. Oh, no. We've had snow the past 2 days, which has helped the Christmas mood, hasn't it? Well, it has for me. Okay, I've got this. That's pink. Well, I thought it was red. It's not. Okay. It probably is supposed to be red. I've got these. Let's grab a little of this. Okay. That is from the Atlas. And I'm grabbing the red ink again. And let's have this. And I'm going to go around the edge. Sometimes when I'm watching people ink things, I don't even see the ink. I know it's there. I mean, these people aren't just wasting their time. But if you can't see the ink, it's there. I know. Where's this? Oh, there. Okay. So let's glue that on. I don't know why I put that aside. Whoops. Ugh. This is a new glue to me. And the place that I bought it from is closing, so I don't know if I'll be able to get it again, but it's called Funky Stick, and it's from Tonic. You know, the company that makes a lot of the tools that Tim Holtz puts out. I'm going higher. Last time I wished it was higher, so I put that a little bit higher. Okay, now for this. I'm gonna use art glitter glue because I'm gonna glue those tags down. There we go. Now, get this on. I'm gonna move it down just there, just a touch. Now, this part, I'm gonna get some glue on here, and I'm putting the glue on the fabric because I'm not exactly positive where it's gonna land. You know what I mean? So, they're moving everywhere. There we go. I'm just gonna hold them for a moment. Oh, I like that. Yep, tag and a tag. Nice. Little something down here, huh? Those are books in a mailbox, by the way. All right, what have I got in here? I've got some of this leftover, sort of a washi tape feel. Nice. Let's do that. I clearly think I'm faster than I am because I'm leaving all my glues open. Not brilliant. I don't recommend it. And give that a good press. This is just a little bit uneven. Ever so slight. Okay. Now, what? Covering the glues. Well, I have a beautiful pin with a big fluffy top that I got from Anne Kenlin. I list her in my favorites to watch. She's great. She's a great YouTube channel. And it's so pretty, I don't want to use it. All right, let's get one of these. A present? Maybe 2 or 3. 1. Is this one too big? Yeah. Could do. Nah. I got plenty of small ones. This is a good one. Candy cane stripes. And one more. Christmas reindeer head. Yeah. Nice. Now, when you do a project like this, maybe you're doing it for a school, for, you know, your kids' classes, or classroom teachers, or maybe you're doing it for your ladies group in your church. Whoops. Oh, nice. When you see one on the ground, don't have hurt feelings. It just happens that way sometimes for any variety of reasons, and it could be an accident. You know, someone may be at home just looking for that. I gotta find a baby wipe. Hang on. Can't find one, but I've got water and I've got this paper towel because oh, come on. There. I got glue on my little picture. Even if I don't get it all off, it'll help keep it from having that shiny spot. All right, that'll be fine. one little reindeer head. Can you even see that? It's a little reindeer head. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Now, punch a hole. And maybe I'll use some more of this green thread. I could. It's fabric. As a matter of fact, it's selvage edge. All right, I believe, hang on, I believe I've got some little bits of, I'm looking. Oh yeah, I see. I spy of this because I made a journal and I sewed it upside down, so I had to cut this off, but I thought we'll save this because it's fun to use on the top of a tag. And I'm just gonna tie these strings or these pieces of cloth together with the waxed thread here. Come on. There we go. Tie a knot. And again. There. Now, these don't need to be sticking out quite that far. Look at that. Okay. Let's do one more. And again, just by adding this on top, it adds another layer of firmness. So that's great. All right, one more. Here we go. And see, I can tell it's not really square. I'll tell you, even expensive 12 by 12 paper that I buy, it's often, well, I wouldn't say always, but it's often not really quite square. All right. There. That looks good. Okay. That looks good. Round the corners. Good. Feels nice and smooth. Yep. Okay. Let's see what we've got in here. I've got this package of books. It's a little too wide, and we know there's various shapes, so don't need to cut into that. Let's see about, whoops, something narrow, okay, like this fox. Good. Good, good. Okay, Mr. Fox. We need you a little bit more narrow. I want to make this straight, so I'm using the lines. Let's do this, because I can see now that those are straight. This isn't. Are you a straight cutter? Can you just use scissors and cut everything straight? I think I'm doing it, but I'm not. Okay. Fox up high. What else is in here? Okay. Little animals that are, yeah, no. Here's the problem. I'll end up with two. I don't know. It'll look forced to me. What about something like these guys? maybe a Christmas tree, and then him, and then her up close. Okay, see, I like that. I like that. Okay, I want something along one edge. My washi tape kind of stuff is the wrong orientation. Let's get those stars or dots or something. Okay, dots. Let's put some dots on here. All right. Get it together, Julie. Ink is red. Ink dauber, red. And I use archival ink, so it can be really hard to get off. I have a new board. I got the board I'm on, the cutting mat, from the dumpster. And it served me well. There we go. But I'm having a hard time with this. I don't want to get the new one dirty. I know. Dumb, huh? A little more. Can you hear sirens? They're kind of close. That's okay. I didn't call them. You didn't call them. Good. Good, good. Let's put this over here. And now, let's layer up. I say Fox first. I'm going to round his corners. It really makes a difference. I know it seems like that's all you watch me do, but when a piece gets jammed in there, sometimes it doesn't want to cut right. There we go. Oh boy. Yeah, that's what happened there. Yep. Come on. Not perfect, but what is? What? There. Okay. Enough of that, huh? Okay, in the middle, this way. All right. Let's get the glue stick. Now this says on the glue itself that it's not made for children and that it's permanent. So those are the things I look for when I look for glue stick, not washable. Yeah, when I'm working with my grandson, I want it washable, but when it's me, I want things to stay put. Don't you? Of course you do. All right. Our little cardinal. There we go. I think I said we had snow the past 2 nights. Yeah, we have. Just waking up yesterday morning, woke up to just a crust of snow and frost on the car windows. This morning, there was snow. It was still very little, but definitely snow. But the cars were covered with snow that people were using their winter brushes to brush the snow off of their cars. So yeah, I thought that was sticking up. Maybe it just needed a little press. Okay. Tree. Now, these pictures I'm using on this one, that is on Coffee for free under Christmas 2025. And it's just a small little collection of images for the holidays. Little something down here. Got this. It's another bird. That could maybe go up here. Let's do that. Come here. Like that. Okay, and I still want something down here. Like this. 25. Well, you've hung in with me this long. Please consider liking and subscribing. When you subscribe and ring the bell, then you'll know when I'm posting more free things on my Ko-fi page. I never know what it's called, Ko-fi or Ko-fi, K-O-F-I. I've never heard anyone say it definitively. Everyone does it like me. I don't know what it is. I don't either. All right, we're going to cut some more words off of this ragtag. Let's make it manageable. There we go. I love the ragtagness of it, but I don't want to staple it, and I want it to stay put. So I'm going to go ahead and make a hole to put it through. I am making it a little bit more narrow. Can I rip it? Barely. Barely. Okay. Hole. And these are just tags with a different name. Let's be real. But I think they're going to be nice. And as I say, I want to make a lot of them. But however many I make, I'm not putting pressure on myself. However many I make, that's how many the library will have. And it'll be more than they had before I got there, right? And I may wait till after Thanksgiving. Because right now, if people grab them by Christmas, they'll be gone. No fault of anyone's. You know, this is narrower, so it's not tightening down like the other one. So I'm going to give it another one. There, a 2-point. Okay. Well. Let's just take a look. I told you how I put this all together. And we've got 3 of them completed. And I'm closing the glue, trying to. Okay, well, that's fine. It's closed enough. This is the last one we made. And we've got this one. And we've got this one. Yay! Well, thumbs up if you found this helpful. I'll see you in another video.